Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let's go into deep dive into EBS. So let's say let's say I have a volume and I want snapshot for this EBS volume. Then how can I take manually? Manually, I can take by simply moving on to EBS volume and select that volume. There I have an option to take the snapshot. And so in this way, we generally take the snapshot manually. Now let's see how to take. So can I able to take the snapshot? That is nothing but copy of my or backup of my EBS volume automatically. Yes. I want to take this snapshot automatically for this EBS volume. Then is it possible? Yes, it is possible for me to take snapshot automatically. How sir? How can we able to take? We can able to take the snapshot automatically by using a service called CloudWatch. What is the service? CloudWatch. So while discussing about CloudWatch, I will tell you about CloudWatch events. So by creating or by creating those CloudWatch events, by using the CloudWatch events, you can automatically take the snapshot of your EBS volume. So just remember like this, by using CloudWatch events, we can able to take backup or copy of your volume as snapshot. So these are the two ways where you can able to take snapshot from the volume. So what is snapshot? It is a backup or copy of your volume. At which level the snapshot stored? The snapshot stored at availability zone level. At which level your volume is present? Your volume is present at availability zone level. Your snapshot is present at regional level. Your snapshot is stored at regional level. In previous video, we have also told you that where these snapshots stored. These snapshots are stored at S3. So can I say, since this snapshot stored at S3 in the same availability zone, in the same region, it has 3 copies? Yes, 3 copies are available for the snapshot in the same region. Because since I store my snapshot in S3, it will available in all my availability zones based on S3. S3 stores data in at least greater than or equals to 2 places. That is, at least 3 copies will be maintained for my snapshot. So whenever if my volume goes down, can I use any one of the snapshot? Yes, I can use the snapshot and I can able to create the volume in regional level. Since these snapshots are regionally available for me, I can able to create the volume in any availability zone where I want. If in case any availability zone volume got failed, then also I can able to create in this way. So can I say my snapshots are highly available since those are stored under S3? Yes, my snapshots are highly available. Let's say I want to use a volume for running small blocks of work. So can I use this volume? Yes. Now, let's say I have a lot of data, that is big data, or else you can take an example of logging information. To process big data or logging information, so I require a volume where to hold my data and I need to get a fast response from the data. So for that, I need a storage. Can I use this EBS volume? Yes, we can able to use this EBS volume. So since a single EBS volume, if a single EBS volume will provide all the needs, then it leads to charge on every person, right? for everything? Yes. So that's why to compromise all customers, AWS provides this EBS volumes in different ways. Based on the need scenario, you can choose the EBS volume. So first, AWS categorize this EBS into two types: SSD backed volumes and HDD backed volumes. Let's see which type of volume suitable for which need scenario. For EC2, for EC2 instances, this SSD backed storage volume is suitable, and for processing big data and logging information, this HDD backed storage volume is suitable. That means this SSD volume is suitable for work with small block level works, whereas this HDD volume is suitable to work with workloads which require high throughput. So what is throughput? Throughput is nothing but response, the rate of data. Based on need, these volume types are again broken down into further. So this SSD backed storage volume is processed again into two types, and this HDD backed storage volume is also processed broken down into two types. The first type under SSD backed storage volumes is general process SSD. So under this, we have two volume types, that is GP2 or GP3. So this general processing SSD is used or recommended for mostly workloads. That is, it is used as root volume for your EC2 instances. Or else you can say for servers, it is used as root volume. You can use it as root volume for your virtual machines. And low latency interactive applications, you can use it as your root volume. So while deploying or testing, you can use this root volume. This provides you a balanced price and performance for variety of workload. Let I hope you understood when do we use general processing SSD, that is GP2 and GP3. These GP2 and GP3 are used for development and test environment, and for low latency interactive applications also it is suitable. So now let us move on to another type of SSD volume, that is provisioned. That second type is provisioned IOPS. Provisioned IOPS SSD volume. Provisioned IOPS SSD volume. Under this, there are again two. There are again two volume types, that is IO1 and IO2. So when do these are used, sir? These are recommended to use when you are using your when you are processing your data, or else when you are storing your data for high input outputs, for large number of input outputs processing. Let's say I am holding a large database workload. Either it may be anything, that is Cassandra or MongoDB or Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL, PostgreSQL or Oracle, whatever the database may be. So I'm holding large database workloads. So for the large database workloads, in order to provide high input outputs, high input outputs per second, I need to use this provisioned IOPS. So when do I use this provisioned IOPS? If I am expecting my performance in terms of IOPS, then I use this provisioned IOPS. While configuring this provisioned IOPS also, You need to tell how many IOPS that you require. IOPS stands for inputs and outputs. How many input outputs that you require, that you need to provide here. So when do this is useful? When do these two types of, when do this provisioned IOPS is useful? When you are expecting high input outputs per second, and if you want to define that for your volume, then prefer this. And this is highly preferred for large database workloads. So coming to SSD backed storage volumes, they are again classified into two types, that is general processed SSD, provisioned IOPS SSD volumes. So when do these general process GP2 and GP3 are used for volumes of EC2 instances? These are also volumes of EC2 instances only. For databases, you need to use this. These are used for volumes for which type? Development and testing environment, you use this general process. For large database workloads, you use this general purpose IOPS volumes. Now, let's see the categories which comes under HDD backed volumes. So these are again classified into two types. The first one is throughput optimized HDD. You use you use this throughput optimized HDD volume whenever you are expecting a fast response. That is nothing but you are expecting fast throughput. If you are expecting fast throughput with low cost HDD volume for frequently accessing, if you want fast response for frequently accessing, if you want fast response for frequently accessing low through frequently accessing data, if you want fast throughput, that is fast response for frequently accessing data, then you need to prefer this HDD, that is throughput optimized HDD. What is the volume type here? ST1. Even it is low cost, it is a very low cost. You can choose this for this type of workloads. So can you tell some example? Yes. So let's say you have a big data. So one more thing, it is not used as root volume. This is very important. It is not used as root volume. So this is the main reason why it is providing for less cost. One of the main reason why it is providing for less cost. You can use this for big data, and you can use this as storage for data warehouse, and even logs processing also you can use this. So you can use this for big data, data warehouses and logs processing, since there you are required a fast response, right? Yes, fast response you are required there. But even the fast response is getting from here with low cost for even frequently accessing also. So for that scenario, we use the volume type is ST1. Remember, this volume is not attachable to ST1 type volume is not attachable to your servers. It's not used as a root volume, or else in specific you can say root volume as you you use this root volume at the time of booting, right? So you can say it as a boot volume as well. So you cannot use it for boot volume. This HDD backed volume is again classified into cold, what? Cold HDD. Cold HDD. So what is the volume type that comes under this is SC1. So when do we use this, sir? We use this when we use this when so it is similar to throughput optimized HDD only. The only change here is here you won't access your data frequently. That's it. That's the only change. So that's why it costs you very less compared to this throughput optimized. So if you have a need for fast throughput, if you have a need for fast throughput for infrequent, what? Infrequent, infrequent accessing data. If you want a fast throughput for infrequent accessing data, then you use this cold storage. Even it costs you very less compared to throughput optimized as well. Again, the thing is here also you do not able to use this for root volume, or else you can say in specific, you cannot use it as boot volume for your EC2 instances. Again, here also you can use it for processing. That is, you can able to process your large volumes like big data for processing large volumes. You can use this. This is how AWS classified the EBS volumes like this. Till now, the tree will be up to here only. Maybe in future, may it also increases. So in future, if they increase the total number of instance times, which comes under EBS volumes, then I'd like to introduce those as well. So till now, this is the expansion of tree of your EBS volumes. These are the EBS volume instance types available for you to use for your volumes, for your storage volumes, if you want to use this EBS. Based on your need and performance factors, that is how much volume you require, and if you want to set IOPS, or else if you don't want to set IOPS, or if you want your volume for EC2 instance, that is your servers or not. So if you want for cheap, or if you want your storage for costly, so like this, based on your performance metrics, you can choose the specific EBS volume type for your need. Let's see one more scenario. Since this is a storage type, I'd like to store my credentials. That is, let's say my passwords, like that, my personal information, I'd like to store it in it. Now, in order to provide security, so if anybody see my volume, then they know my personal data, right? Yes. So in order to provide security for my data, does this EBS provides me encryption? Yes. This EBS provides you encryption. So if you require such encryption, then while creating your EBS volume, you have an option called enable encryption. So if you want to enable encryption while creation itself, you can able to enable that encryption. Here in this EBS volumes encryption, you don't need to manage anything regarding keys or anything regarding anything. Your data which you stored in your EBS will be safe, that is encrypted. Even your data is at rest and even your data is in transmission mode. Your data is actually encrypted by using a key where those key will be managed by AWS. You don't need to manage anything for encryption. You just need to enable an option while creating your EBS volume. That's it. I will tell you the secret how EBS encrypt your data by using which algorithm this EBS will encrypt your data. This EBS will encrypt your data by using AES 256 algorithm. It will encrypt your data. It's a advanced algorithm, advanced encryption system algorithm, where Even hackers can require a lot of time, a lot of days, even years, you can say, to encrypt your data. And this EBS also interacts with one of the other service to encrypt your data, that is KMS. What is this KMS, sir? It's a key management service. In this KMS, it uses customer master key. Customer master key. It uses customer master key. In this case, the customer master key will act as encryption key for your data, which are stored in your volumes. So, in this way, your encryption happens in EBS volumes. Let's say I have a encrypted EBS volume. Now, I created a snapshot from this EBS volume, from this encrypted EBS volume. Do my snapshot is encrypted? The answer for this is yes. Your snapshot is also encrypted. Let's say I have encrypted snapshot. Now I want to create a EBS volume from the snapshot. So if I create EBS volume from encrypted snapshot, do my volume created from the encrypted snapshot will be encrypted? Yes, your volume created from encrypted snapshot is also be encrypted. Again, this encryption of volume is only available in some instance type only, not all instance types. Now, if let's say I want to encrypt all my data which is present in a specific region. Now, can I able to encrypt? Yes, you can able to encrypt a particular region volumes by enabling region settings. So you can enable default encryption at regional level. So by enabling that default settings, you can able to encrypt all the volumes which are stored under that region. If you want to create EBS volume, there are actually two ways. First one way is you can able to create this EBS volume while creating your EC2 instance itself. And the second way is you can able to create this EBS volume from EC2 dashboard. That is under EC2 dashboard, you can see an option called volumes. There, if you open that volume options, then you can see create volumes. If you click on create volumes, then you can found an interface like this. Here, you can select the volume type, whether what is the volume type that you want. That is either GP2 or else GP3. The volume types we have already discussed, right? IO1 and IO2 and ST1, SC1. Among those, you need to select any one of the volume type. Here, you also need to specify how much amount of size of EBS volume that you want. And so for particularly IOPS, that is for that only we can able to set this IOPS. For other storages, we can't able to set this. And you need to tell at which availability zone your volume will store. And you also need to tell at which region you volume need to be. And if you want, you can able to enable encryption as well. Finally, you can able to add tags as well by using this add tags to your volume. So this is how you create your volume. So select the volume type and size of the volume type. And finally, the encryption as well as if you want any tags, those and availability zone at which region you want to put your volume that you need to select and just click on create volume. Then your volume will be created and then you can able to mount it to any EC2 instances and you can able to use it. In AWS, we have seen how to manage our data. That is by using lifecycle management, we have managed the data. So in EBS, do we have any such type of lifecycle manager? Yes, there is a data lifecycle manager which is present in EBS, where in this data lifecycle manager, you can able to manage your volumes as snapshots. Since snapshots are the backups, right? So by using the backups only, you are managing your data in this EBS. So by using this lifecycle data lifecycle manager in EBS, you can able to schedule and manage the creation of your EBS snapshots, and even you can able to manage the deletion of your EBS snapshots also by using data lifecycle manager. By using this data life manager, you can able to schedule and manage the creation of snapshots and deletion of those snapshots also. You can able to schedulely manage those things by using this data lifecycle manager. At your company or else at most of the professional workplaces, what happens is before this data lifecycle manager comes, they created their own script to automatically schedule and manage their EBS snapshots. That means they need to take the snapshots, right? Yes. So they manage creation of these EBS snapshots taking by scheduling. So how they scheduled is by they written some scripts and they run those to schedulely take those EBS volumes. Even for deletion also they created some script and they'll manage that by using that way. So after data lifecycle manager comes, AWS provides this data lifecycle manager for free. So all the developers or whoever using this will will comes into AWS and use this data lifecycle manager. This will covers all your management of your snapshots and deletion of your snapshots by scheduling. In order to do this automation, first, first data lifecycle manager needs to identify your resources, right? So you have EBS volumes you have, and you have EC2 instances you have, and you have multiple resources which are present in AWS. So in order to identify any one of the resources, then what is the service that you use? You use tags. So by using these tags only, this data lifecycle manager can automate these tasks. Without tags, it is not possible, my guy. You can use this Amazon data lifecycle manager. In short, can I call this data lifecycle as DLM? Data lifecycle manager as DLM? Yes. We can also call this data lifecycle manager as DLM. Okay. We can also use this with CloudTrail to provide a complete backup solution for your servers. And you can even use this with CloudWatch events to automatically take the backups as well. So this is all about EBS volumes and deep dive into it. I hope you understood each and every point. And I feel this video is contentful to you. If you feel this video is contentful to you, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. And see you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye, guys.